Should actually be live right now, and yours should be when you are ready to.
Yeah, I have hit the live button.
Alrighty, and make sure you've got your echo turned off.
I have. Is the volume okay? I've turned all other
You
devices.
actually sound really loud to me, but I enhanced my audio on the eCam. I kicked it up to the high level audio to make sure, and so that if they can't, even if it's scratchy looking, it should still sound good. Hang on for me just one moment.
Yeah, you've got your sound on, haven't you?
Yeah, that's my echo. I'm fixing something real quick because if I don't, won't
It'll
get
be
fixed
active.
right. There we go.
Oh,
Advanced.
hello. There's one
I got a
lovely.
couple. Hello, hello. We are working here, documenting. Okay, language. Good thumbnail. They'll.
I don't know where you're finding all this. Hey, Lindsay. Hello. How you doing?
I don't either.
I don't know how to do things. I've dared not do the update unless it went wrong.
Oh yeah, well, you need to still do the update, don't you?
Yeah, I still need to do the update, but I'm not messing with that right now.
Hi,
I'm just
Mary
checking.
Beth. Hi, Beverly. Hi, Lori. Hi, Maureen. Hi,
Yay!
Anne.
Look at all these darlings. I've got
Yeah.
7. Welcome to Thursday night's fun and games.
Fun and games it is, yes. And we have to do something very different or something. Well, I guess it's different. I got a box from
You
Wink.
got?
I got a box from Wink.
Yes.
I
Wink,
did.
get on here next to me. Let me just
All
move
right.
this.
Hey,
So,
Bonnie. Okay, so this arrived late yesterday, but I had left this unopened. So
woo!
it is proof that we can mail things across the pond. It took about what, 2 weeks, Wink?
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
did.
Okay.
It's
All
supposed
right.
to take 5 days.
I did make sure we had the drug sniffing dogs come by and check out the package, and then I had the bomb squad come by and do a little X-ray on it just to be sure. I don't want to take any chances these days.
Yeah. No, I think you're quite safe.
Okay.
So I'm
Well.
my left t-shirt.
All right. Just making
We've
sure.
got our lovely new t-shirts on.
Yeah, those are pretty cool shirts. Okay, so I'm opening the box.
Open.
By the way, it doesn't rattle at all.
It's not meant to.
Should put some fake rattles in these things to throw people off, Christmas time. So it's midnight. How's your weather?
Wet.
Slightly drizzly. Very, very windy the last 2 days. It's been blowing all over the place. The pigs have been in their house because they don't like the wind.
Really?
No, they don't. They don't like the wind.
Okay.
But yeah, it's good. It's all good.
So
Whoa.
Any last requests by Buzz? Autographed by Wink. And that's just you pointing out who you are, right?
yeah. That's it.
But it does have, let's see, base into face, right?
Yeah, that's Sparky.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Oh, Sparky. Okay. Oh, we got everybody's autograph.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have.
All right, we got
That's
Nappy and Max.
good, Julie. Thank you so much, Julie.
Awesome.
Sent the t-shirts.
Fabulous. Okay, and there's more. Wait a minute.
This is the main thing.
So enjoy the album. Let us know what you think.
I will. And this is a box.
If you read there should be a bit of paper in there to explain what it is.
Saw this and thought of you and your. Okay. So a waterproof. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a waterproof cigar box.
Yeah. There you go.
Fire thing in it, so you can take it
Look
on the
at
boat.
that. Yeah. Awesome. That really is awesome. Where'd you find such a thing?
I just found it. I was looking at cigar boxes, and that came up.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. You have to have a waterproof cigar box. Everybody knows that. And it's got these little ridges on the liners in there to hold them in place. That's fantastic. Thanks, buddy.
Cool.
I appreciate it. This will get used.
I figured that.
So will this. So will the CD. I'm gonna put this in the truck in the morning and listen.
Oh, it's great music to drive to.
Well, everything I've heard so far is fantastic. I've liked all of it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we've sent some CDs out actually to some of my lovelies.
Good.
So they should be listening and tapping their toes and stuff. So it should be really good.
Good. All right. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it, and you're a gentleman and a sweetheart of a man. That's all I've got to say about it. And I still miss our conversations.
That's it. Well, I'll have to come back and have some more.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Or if I come there, or if I make a trip to Scotland. I'm not wearing my Scotland hat tonight. Yeah, I don't know why. I got into this mad flurry of getting things cleared off my desk, and I did a video, and I did a bunch of checks that had to be written, and I have a clean desk because I wanted to enjoy opening the box on a open canvas, a clear canvas. So I did that. So.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Okay, so you're going to have to tell us where we're getting some requests. They want to know where to get the waterproof cigar box, Wink. So if you get a chance later, put a link or on your site, Sue, so they know where to get it.
Can you email me a link now, and then I'll put it up in a minute.
Yeah, if I can find where it was.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a technical job to do.
Okay, hold on.
So he's looking that up.
Awesome. So you're fasting today.
I am,
and indeed. I'm fasting too. Yep.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Don't we look horrible? Oh, we just look horrible. Oh, we're so
no energy whatsoever.
Oh, I had a registered nurse in my office today. Believe it or not, she had a 43 point something body mass index, and super nice lady. And I told her I'd been doing intermittent fasting, and she just looked at me. She says, "That's just not healthy." I said, "I'm so sorry you feel that way." It's really healthy, though.
It is. I feel great, and I can't believe it, but I look forward to Monday and Thursdays.
It's the easiest day of the week now, isn't it?
It is.
There's no preparation.
No prep whatsoever.
No prep.
It's just fantastic.
You don't have to spend any time in the kitchen.
No. Well, yeah, making videos, yes.
Well, okay, but no time. So what I find is these 2 days, especially Thursday, seems more than Monday, but definitely on Thursday, it's the day where I really catch up on everything. I try not to get behind in the first place, but if I've let paperwork stack up, Thursday is my day to do it. I knock it out. I finish it.
One next week, huh?
Yeah. It always says I've only got...
He says they've only got one.
Oh, they've only got one left, but I will... Send me that link and I'll put it in. Yeah, send it in... text, and then I'll be able to copy and paste it in. Hi Anne, hi Chrissy, hi Brenda, Bonnie. I'm going to try and sort out a link for you, but I'm a bit kind of not sure how to do that because I don't think I've got the link on this. I don't want to click off what I'm doing in case I knock you all off. 16 lovelies tuning in. Hi Snow. Mwah. Snow has been fasting this week. She's been getting everything sorted out. Hi, Deb, sweetheart.
Oh, right. Let Debs know that I got her email and I haven't ignored it. It's just I haven't gotten to it yet, but I will. I promise.
Right, you've been busy, haven't you?
Well, I have, and we had some interesting videos we did today, and also had I wrapped up a case. A very interesting case where an individual, and I get these emails frequently where people will send me and they'll say, "Look, I've been to 4 different doctors. Can you tell me what's going on?" And they'll ask me some questions. Sometimes they'll send a picture, but usually not initially. They'll just say, "Can you help me? Can you tell me what I should do next?" And I have to be real careful that I don't give real medical advice per se, but I can point people in the right direction. Yeah. And I'm glad to do that. So I had a young lady actually out of Oklahoma that sent me a message just like that a few days ago, and I replied with just a couple of questions and a request for some photographs. And so she answered her question, but she couldn't send the photographs back until today. But then she sent the photos back into me today, and I told her what I thought was going on, but I recommended that she see a certain doctor, and she asked them specifically to check her for this particular problem. And I'm not telling any of the details because we actually for the first time, what I did with that today was I took it and I laid out all the emails in chronological order and the pictures when they came in, and I narrated it all so that you could kind of follow along with it just like you were experiencing it with me. So it would be an interesting story and an interesting case. And then I asked her, of course, would it be okay to share her story if I didn't use her identity? And she was awesome with it. She said, absolutely. So anyway, so I just wrapped that up today, and we had a new patient come in. He's got a cyst. I think it's actually a lipoma on the right side of his cheek. It's been biopsied. He actually had a doctor biopsy it, but didn't take it off. Left it there. So he had another problem that we did a guess what his problem is thing on the lower extremities, and we did that today. And so we're gonna have him come back, and we're gonna actually take the lipoma off of his face. It should be an interesting procedure. Oh, wow. Beverly, thank you. Yeah, I did a video today where we talked about a lady who had come in who thought she had lost 50 pounds. She believed she had dropped 50 pounds since April, and she'd gone vegan, and she attributed all her weight loss to vegan. She said she dropped two pants or 2 dress sizes, and that she'd gone vegan and she was feeling better. And but turns out there was a discrepancy on the weight, and the DW was working with me today because it was a full day, and she had written down that her weight was 196, and I said, was your weight 196 today, or was it 146? And she said, oh no, it's 146 because I was 147 at home. I said, oh, okay. So I figured the DW had just, the 9 was supposed to look more like a 4. You know, 9s and 4s can sometimes look a lot alike. So I said, well, let's and I looked back on the chart. She had been 207 or 208 pounds on previous visits. I said, why don't you come out? Let's get on the scale again. Let's recheck you. And I checked her on the scale. She was wearing a coat. She goes, I didn't have the coat on before. I said, that's okay. It's just a couple of pounds difference. And she was actually 201 pounds on the scale. And so I was in this really awkward situation where, I felt really sad. I felt really bad for her because she thought she'd dropped 50 pounds, and she'd really only lost about 6 or 7 pounds, which is great that she'd lost 6 or 7 pounds, but it was kind of a letdown because I was going to let her do a little video and tell us her story about how she was doing it and all that, and that kind of just really changed the whole character of the office visit. I didn't want her to not be, excited about continuing on her vegan quest, and she is really working whole food plant-based, and we talked about how to eat 80% fruits and vegetables, 10% mushrooms, and then try to limit your starches down to that other 10%. And I told her she might want to consider intermittent fasting if she wanted to lose weight quicker, but she didn't have to. She was certainly on the right track, and she had nothing to be embarrassed about, but she was really just brokenhearted that she hadn't lost that 50 pounds. And she'd been telling people that she'd lost 50 pounds, and I said, I believe you're genuine. I think there might be something wrong with your scale. This is one of those few times where I really do think there was something wrong with her scale at home. Because everybody comes in and says, your scale's wrong, my scale's right at home. And I always tell them, no, your scale at home is wrong. Oh, yeah. We always play that game because it's always a couple of pounds difference here or there. And that's okay. I mean, but 50 pounds different is a big difference. I mean, and I really felt sorry for her. And Beverly just mentioned that she felt bad for her too. So it was just one of those. She has
2 dress sizes, though.
Well, she apparently has toned. It's possible to lose some fat weight, but put on some muscle weight so that you're kind of total weight neutral or close to it, but yet have toned. As you know, as we all know, we can tone and we can make ourselves thinner without necessarily weighing less. That's entirely possible. But I don't think it's a 50-pound story over 6 months. I don't think it was that kind of a shift. But nonetheless, I think she was headed in the right direction. So anyway, so I have only let's see what I've got. I've got 19. You probably have, I'm going to guess 45.
I have. Go on, guess.
45.
No, I've got 19 as well.
Oh, no.
Even Stevens. They're coming on. They're coming on. I've got lots of people saying they're enjoying. Mary Beth is absolutely loving the fasting. She's really enjoying it. I know that Snow is. Lindsay, was it Lindsay? But yeah, link to me on Facebook, Bonnie. Yeah, so Lindsay was struggling with hunger pangs today. Otherwise, she feels fine. I have struggled with hunger pains today. And the reason for that is because I was up till 4:30 in the morning fighting editing a video. And I ended up eating again and then going to bed quite close to eating again. So that made me hungry this morning. But funnily enough, I solved that by making sandwiches for Wink and Finian for tomorrow. And I could smell all the lovely food and it kind of took my mind off it. So I'm feeling a bit hungry right now, but I'm going to tuck into my tea. Yeah, it's going good, and I said I'm really, really enjoying it. I love the fact that it frees my head for 2 days a week about what to cook.
There you go.
What shall I make?
Makes it your easiest 2 days of the week. Maureen Allen just commented that she went to her pain management doctor on Monday and found that she had dropped 11 pounds. So working on the whole food plant-based diet and the intermittent fasting. So way to go. Yep, nothing to eat today. So the intermittent fasting really does work. If you can get past those first 2 or 3 times that you do it, you'll find that you're more in line with those of us that have been doing this for a longer period of time. I've been doing it now since, my goodness, for more than 6 months. And I didn't, until you just said you had felt hungry, I hadn't even thought about eating today. And it was a good day for me at the clinic because we did not have a pharmaceutical rep who brought in a meal, so I didn't have to have that smell, like, oh, that smells good in there. No. So I feel really energetic today and feel really good. So
it does get easier. It definitely feels easier. I've got Snow says she's got a question for you. How do you keep from eating extra the day before or after a fast day? Being a food addict, or I have someone who doesn't eat for 14 hours and then I binge.
Let me just be extremely honest with you and tell you that I do eat extra on the day before a fast.
You're such a tinker.
If I didn't, I would probably lose a lot more weight. But I always if it's tomorrow, if today is yesterday, I'm eating an extra sandwich tonight because I'm going all day without eating tomorrow. So
Right. So you do. That's okay. But that's okay because
here's what the research says for those of you who may want to know. The research has proven that if you fast intermittently like we're doing, that you will on average eat 110% of what you would normally eat the day following your fast. So you will eat a little bit more either the day before or the day after. For me, generally, it's both. I eat a little bit before the day and after. But it doesn't make up for what you didn't eat on the day of the fast. So you will lose weight typically until you have lost weight down to where your body is just going to say no more. And then generally you will eat. So your body won't allow you to fast to the point where you can get sick.
Right.
There you go. So
I tell you one thing I was feeling. I'm feeling quite cold. Winky Dinks, you couldn't put another log on the fire for me, could you? He's busy reading things. I found I was quite cold, and Wink saying it's boiling hot in here. We haven't got any heating on, and it's winter and everything. But I think that's because I haven't got any fuel in me. Because sometimes you're cold, and if you eat, you warm up, and you go, "Oh, that was it.
Right.
I just ran out of fuel."
Yeah, and that's common, and you'll probably feel it more as the day progresses, as your body is making that conversion over to glycogen. So you have energy in the form of sugar in a kind of human starch. We call it glycogen, and so your body starts into that glycogen at night while you're sleeping, and it will continue through the day. At some point during the day, though, sometimes you will run out of that glycogen, okay? And your body will have to switch over, and it will start converting fat into energy. And when that happens, you may feel a little cold. You may feel a little less energy physically. And so when that happens, it's not unusual to feel a little bit chilly. And that may be the same time you get that first hunger pang, if you do get it at all, okay? So I've kind of gotten in tune with my body, so I kind of know when these things are happening. I know when I'm eating enough to where I'm not going to lose any weight that week, or if I really want to push and lose a pound, then I kind of know okay, I better not eat that extra thing, or we're not really that hungry. I'm just more bored this afternoon, that kind of thing. So then I'll just cut those things out, and I'll see a pound or two drop off. I did not weigh myself today. I'll probably weigh tomorrow, but on I believe it was Tuesday, I was 196, 197, somewhere in there. I'm still under 200, and right now that's fine with me. I think I'd like to see 190, but I'm not really overly concerned about it, especially since the DW really doesn't want me to lose any more weight.
Thank you for giving us that information. I've got some. Chrissy's saying she's brand new to the fasting, but 4 months in on the vegan lifestyle. I have tons of medical issues and see a pain doctor bi-weekly for years. My diet change has allowed me to cut down on my meds 50%.
There it is. Right there. There it is.
In the pudding. Although that is not really a very good phrase for this group, but you guys know what I mean. There you go. That is just fantastic, Chrissy. Well done. Just so well done. That's just amazing. Really, really amazing. Julie, who sent me these fabulous T-shirts, who sent us these fabulous T-shirts, is wondering if a package arrived for Abby yet.
Yes. Was it? Yes, it did. I thought those shirts looked kind of familiar. It was a few days ago, and she received, I think, a couple of shirts. So we need to get up some pictures of her. Yes.
Excellent. That would be fantastic.
I thought the DW had taken some pictures and sent them, but maybe not. So I'm glad I heard that. Okay, so okay. I'll make a little note to get some pics. Yep.
Okay, fantastic. So they've arrived safe and sound, Julie.
Yes. Thank you.
I would share my 2-week results with everyone because I'm so excited. I have lost 8 pounds, just over 8 pounds, 8.5 pounds in weight. But more importantly, I have lost 15 2/8 of an inch of measurements on my body.
Wow, so you've lost half a stone.
Yeah, half a stone. You are doing so well. I'm very impressed. Hey, we'll get the potato chips and the crisps all sorted out, and you'll be as bright as rain. Yeah, so that's just like amazing. I mean, just amazing because I was telling Finian, I said, I've lost some weight doing this whole kind of thing that I'm doing with Dr. Gilmore, and he said, actually, Mum, I thought you looked less bulky.
Here's to less bulky.
Bless him. I know that he's just being, as he is, and I didn't take offense to the bulky comment at all because I don't let things like that get to me anyway. But I thought it was really funny. I thought you guys might like that.
That's pretty funny. So I've got several new people that have come on. One of which is Margie. Hi, Margie. Welcome. And I thought I saw somebody else I hadn't seen before, but one of the things that we're doing to help people learn to eat whole food plant-based is we're recommending right now a book called Proteinaholic. So if you haven't heard of the book, we suggest that you look it up and find it on Amazon for $9.98 here in the U.S. anyway on Amazon Prime. And it's a great book. It's a great starter book to understanding where we're coming from, why it's so healthy. Oh, the DW had a video for me today. It was a 104-year-old cardiologist talking about the fantastic work of Dr. Esselstyn, cardiothoracic surgeon, and Dr. Ornish, who preceded him in the work, as both having proven regression of plaque in the coronary vasculature simply by adopting a low-fat, whole food plant-based diet. I mean, and he was all over it at 104 years of age doing a presentation talking about why isn't this common knowledge? Why aren't we acting on this? And he was as healthy appearing as could be, and I guarantee you he's whole food plant-based, low-fat eater. Just an amazing video, and I'll hope I can get the DW to forward me that link, and I'll try to put it in one of our little videos or one of the videos on our stations here because our stations, our channels. Welcome back to Radio Sue. But yeah, I mean, I think it was really motivating, and it just goes to show that there's a lot of, I don't want to say there's a conspiracy, there's a lot of cover-up, but there's a lot of misinformation out there. I spoke with a patient today. He was a chef, and he had what we used to call a beer belly. And I pointed at his extra weight there. I said, we need to work on this. I said, you need to cut back the animal products. And he said, well, yeah, I do need to work on that a little bit. And we talked a little bit later about his cholesterol and his triglycerides and other things. And I said, a lot of this is coming from your diet. I said, this is animal products, and you can do a lot better on this if you'll cut back on those animal products. And we got to talking later, and a few minutes later he goes, yeah, I do need to lose a few pounds. I guess I'm going to cut the carbs. And I just threw my hands up and I said, did you even hear anything I said? What do you mean cut the carbs? Carbs aren't your problem. I said, all I eat are carbs, buddy. I said, you need to be focusing on cutting the animal products out of your diet. That's what's making you sick. I'm not saying go eat starches. I'm saying eat fruits and vegetables. Eat healthy fruits and vegetables. Anyway, I got him a copy of the title of the book, Proteinaholic, so that he could go and read it. And he said he definitely would, and he wanted to learn more. So I think we got his attention. But it just goes to show, in the minds of people, I'm saying don't eat animal products. What they're hearing is cut the carbs. Yeah. That's not what I'm saying at all. I had somebody else ask me about the keto diet. Is this keto diet a safe diet? And I said, let me show you something. And I got the patient up and took her into my office, opened up my drawer, and I took out the labs that I have. The name of the person are redacted, but they're before and after labs. Before and during a ketogenic diet. And her cholesterol went from perfectly normal at an LDL of 99 or 98, I can't remember exactly what, to over 300 cholesterol. And just the amazing change in the lipids by doing this unsafe ketogenic animal protein diet. And it's terribly unhealthy. So it's just, getting people to even understand where we're coming from sometimes is a little bit difficult, because the whole world is saying, eat meat for protein. You need more protein for health and all that. And it's a big, fat, juicy lie is what it is. It's not necessary. I had a nurse today tell me that fasting was not healthy. And I just said, one of us in this room is really healthy and one of us isn't. And I want you to guess who is which.
I love how you give it to people straight, because I think
I do. I do, because
too much pussyfooting around.
No, there's no reason to, because we only have a limited number of years to eat right and be healthy and prevent these diseases. And if we don't start working on it, then, just like we discovered recently when we were talking about just about everybody in our group here had something happen, had a reason to go vegan, to learn that whole food plant-based eating. We had a reason to go explore and learn and say, oh my goodness, I've got it all wrong. And then we made the changes. You did it in January. I did it in February. But I had a problem with not only my weight, but my kidney function. I was pre-diabetic. I had high cholesterol. I had all these problems. And then I decided I wanted to do something about it. What was the best way to do it? And that's when I really got interested in becoming whole food plant-based eating, becoming vegan. And then we found out just about everybody else had a reason also, that they had been diagnosed with something, a psoriatic arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, with different conditions, different autoimmune diseases, with who knows what. But they had some kind of cause, and we're saying, hey, you don't have to have a cause to start eating right. We can actually prevent this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I've got a... Sharon was saying... why vegan and not vegetarian. And basically, if you're eating vegetarian, you're still eating dairy, eggs, milk, cheese, that kind of thing. And these are still animal fats. So if you're going to be eating those, you may as well be eating the flesh as well, because it's the same protein. So excluding all animal products, you're going to get much better results. But if you're transitioning, it's a very good start. Everybody works at their own pace. So, congratulations for that. Snow was saying It's hard cutting out cheese and stuff. Hang on, let me read it. Sharon, start as a vegetarian, then I work up to vegan. I feel like cutting out cheese and milk is huge. Just try a little at a time and you'll notice how you feel. So try the nut milks. The nut milks are just delicious. We all like nuts, so they're absolutely delicious. Even Wink enjoys a cup of tea with nut milk in it now, which is like a miracle, frankly.
Wow.
Wouldn't you agree, Wink? Yeah, Wink's saying he would agree. That is a miracle.
We have one, Beverly saying
there are
that
vegan cheeses. Try the vegan cheeses. They're not the same, but then cheddar cheese isn't the same as mascarpone cheese, which isn't the same. There's all cheeses are different. Just treat it as a different cheese and just try it. Literally, just try it and see how you feel. Your body will tell you. Your body will tell you, and it'll stand by you.
Mm-hmm. Now, we have one person who's saying they haven't gone vegan, but they are watching what they eat, and they've tried the fasting. And I want to encourage her to reinvestigate a whole food, plant-based, or vegan diet and the benefits by reading a book called Proteinaholic. Yep, want to recommend that. And by Dr. Garth Davis, I believe, is the author. And so, and also we have another person saying that they are also off of their acid reflux medicine. So that's fantastic. I think that's great.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. So I think we're really helping, us getting together and talking and sharing, I think is really helping people. So I'm really glad to be a part of that. And that's really what I want to do. I want to be a part of that. Somebody asked me earlier a question about Meta 7. I don't want to spend too much time on Meta 7 because I put my little orange thing up. I don't know if you guys can even see it.
I can't see it. Let's look. It's up on your channel, but it's not up on my...
Okay. I think I just put it in a different place. But anyway, so about Meta 7, do I think people that are fasting would get more energy if they took Meta 7? Well, yes, I definitely do. I think people that in general take Meta 7 feel more energetic. I know I do, and of course there are thousands of people out there that have taken it, and many that are taking it today. So how it will affect you in a particular situation, it's hard to say, but I can tell you that most everybody that tries it tells me they feel better and more energy when they're taking it. We have somebody, Deborah, who says that she's on a full liquid diet due to major surgery a week ago, lost 10 pounds, found you don't miss the foods, and you thought you would. You had Nissen surgery, which is a fundoplication, I believe is what it is. That is a kind of bypass surgery, if I remember correctly. Deborah, you might, if you want to share your story with us, we would invite you. Don't you think, Sue? We would invite her to come on to Skype with us, and we'll actually put you on if you want to tell us your story. We love having people come join us and tell their story. So you're welcome to if you'd like, and if you want to send me an email. I'll put my email up on the comments here, and I'll tell you how to join us.
Yeah, I'll just put it as well.
We always we love to share.
We do, because that is what spurs everybody on.
Right.
Absolutely. You're not in it on your own.
Oh, Eileen's asking, isn't Garth Davis the bariatric doctor? Yes, he is. And he wrote the book called Proteinaholic, and he makes people read his book before he does surgery. And I hope I'm using the correct name. I'm gonna look it up real quick. But Garth Davis, Proteinaholic.
I've put the book up. I don't know how to spell Proteinaholics.
Proteinaholic. Yeah, Dr. Garth Davis wrote the book about called Proteinaholic. That's correct. And he is a bariatric surgeon in the Houston area. And I've actually had a patient who I recommend that he read the book because he was overweight. And it was funny. He said, I went and saw a bariatric surgeon. He tried to make me read the book. He said it was his book. I said, did you meet Dr. Davis? He said, yeah. I said, I'd love to meet the man because I think his book is fantastic. And I recommend it all over the place. Maybe you could get me 100 copies. We could sell them at half rate or something. We could give them away. We get them cheap and give them away. But yeah, that's who Dr. Davis is. And the book is called Proteinaholic. And we really like... Sue, you've read it. You've gotten it? You read it? I
haven't actually read it, to be honest. I haven't read it, but it's on my list of things to read.
Okay.
Absolutely. I hadn't actually, it was you that told me about it, and I haven't gotten around to to ordering it yet. I wonder if it's available on Audible, because that will be good.
I think there is. I think there is a version for the Kindle. I don't remember about Audible, but I will check.
Yeah, I'll have a little look. I think because I read all my books by listening to them. Otherwise, because I just don't sit still, so I won't sit and read a book. I'm more likely to read it if I can listen to it while I'm doing other things. Right, I've got a question for you, and actually my dad asked me this question. It's from Lindsay. Dr. Gilmore, will this diet, help my hiatus hernia symptoms?
The answer is maybe, to be fair. Also, Proteinaholic is available in an audio version, so I suspect they have it on Audible.
Excellent.
Hiatus hernia is basically a mechanical problem where the diaphragm has a loosened area and the stomach is actually able to slip up. We used to call these sliding hernias years ago, but a hiatus or hiatal hernia is where the stomach is able to move up into the chest area and it can actually get kind of pinched off. So people get a lot of belching, they get a lot of acid reflux and that kind of thing. From the standpoint of will that heal? See you, Wink. Have a good night. Thank you again for the
gifts,
everyone. Man. Thanks, bud. I appreciate them. Thank you very much.
Thank you for staying up, darling.
I can tell you that if you eat less with the intermittent fasting and you don't overeat on the other days and you adopt a whole food plant-based diet, there's a good chance you'll lose weight. And when that happens, your stomach will shrink a little bit and may be less likely to get trapped in the hiatal hernia. You know, there's an old wives' tale, or I don't know what you want to call it, an old remedy out there for people with hiatal hernias. Okay, and I'm going to tell you guys this secret. What you do is you go all day without eating, okay, because you want your stomach to be empty, and you drink about as much water as you possibly can stand, and then go jump on a trampoline for about 5 minutes. Okay?
Wow.
So what happens is you fill up with water, you go jump on the trampoline, and it pulls your stomach down a little bit, and it pulls it through the diaphragm so that the diaphragm can naturally kind of close up where it's supposed to be. Okay? And it takes a while for that water to be metabolized out or to be absorbed, but you will. And for some people, they've actually gotten relief from the hiatal hernia by doing this maneuver. If you think about it, it makes sense.
Yeah.
The first time I heard it, I thought, that's the craziest thing I've heard in a long time that just might actually work. And I've had people tell me that they have done this and it worked for them. It got their hiatal hernia under control. I can't think of anything unsafe about it. I think it would be absolutely fascinating to have somebody do it and tell us a story, especially if it worked. Whether it worked or not, we'd love to hear because I think it's a really fascinating kind of natural way of correcting a hiatal hernia. Anyway, so
I'm going to tell my dad that because he was, because I was telling him what I was doing. We met on Monday for what was to be lunch and a drink, and I said, well, I'm fasting, so you eat, no problem, and I'll have tea. You know, I had peppermint tea. So he didn't eat; he chose to eat before, but he was talking about it, and is it really healthy? So I sent him the 10 health benefits of fasting, and he was like, and he said, do you think, firstly he asked, is it okay for someone of my age to fast? He's 78, and I mean he's not overweight at all. He walks 3 miles every day, brisk walk. He's been doing it for probably 40 years now, just like clockwork. He eats a fairly healthy diet, but he does eat meat. And he also has acid reflux, just like it's just giving him always, like when he lays down at night, it kind of goes up here and kind of, he gets a lot of trouble with that. And he's got a hiatus hernia. So I said, do you know what? I'm going to ask Dr. Gilmore for you.
Let me tell you a couple of things. Number one, we talked about who could fast and who couldn't fast. The people who can't fast are type 1 diabetics, those with eating disorders, or people who are pregnant, generally women. So, he's 78. That's not a contraindication. He can fast. Number two, the hiatus hernia. It's the same thing. We're talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
I call it a hiatal hernia. Here we use it both ways, but I think over on your side of the pond, you guys say hiatus hernia. We're talking about the same thing, though. That is a mechanical problem that comes from previously abusing our bodies. And I have the same problem. I have a small hiatal hernia, and I have gastroesophageal reflux problems because of it. It is improved for me. That has improved, but it has not gone away. It has not healed. That's not to say it might not at some point, but for full disclosure and honesty, it has not healed, and I do still have to take my omeprazole, and I take it every day. If I don't, I get terrible reflux the next day. It used to be really severe if I missed the dose. Now it's not as severe, but I still notice it if I miss it. I'm hoping that maybe that will heal over the years that are coming. So for your doctor friend or your 78-year-old friend, the chances are he's probably not going to be to get that healed, but it might improve, which is I think a fair answer.
I shall tell him.
But he certainly can fast. I think it would be if he's not overweight, he just needs to monitor his weight and make sure that he doesn't lose too much weight. But I would think he would get more health benefit at this stage of life by adopting a whole food plant-based diet than doing the intermittent fasting. I really do. I really think that if you have to choose between the two, which is more important, I think that if you went whole food plant-based, you're probably naturally going to lose some weight and get healthier. The intermittent fasting, although tremendously healthy and healthful, is probably not as helpful as doing the whole food plant-based diet. So I would put that as number one, and then the intermittent fasting is like number two if you wanted to prioritize those.
Okay.
We have somebody that talked about probiotics here and doxycycline. So Beverly, I want to answer this question too because I know Sue's big probiotics, and this will give you a segue into that. She says her PCP put her on doxycycline today for 21 days, so twice a day, so apparently 42 pills. Told me to make sure I take my probiotic. And the question is how does that help? And she's taking the doxycycline she's got apparently chronic Lyme disease and has some new symptoms. So apparently a Lyme flare and was put on the doxycycline. So we don't think that with Lyme disease, we don't think that we ever truly completely eradicate the infection, okay? And it's a bacterium that's called a spirochete. It never completely goes away. And so that's why you're taking the doxycycline. But if your question is why would you take a probiotic? Well, if you're taking an antibiotic, anti means against life, and doxycycline will work against the bacteria that naturally live in your gut. Well, you live in a symbiotic relationship with the bacteria in your gut. You cannot live without healthy bacteria. You can't live without bacteria in your gut, and it's good for it to be healthy. So if you're taking an antibiotic for a long period of time, it's a good idea to do something to restore the healthy bacteria in your gut. And your gut means stomach, duodenum, jejunum, your whole GI system, okay? Now, when you're taking antibiotics, there are some options. One would be like sweet acidophilus milk. A live culture yogurt can be helpful, and probiotic as long as it's a good product. And Sue, that's your segue to talk about probiotics.
Yeah. I use the most fantastic probiotic. It's patent pending. It's not only a probiotic, it's a prebiotic, so it kind of prepares your gut for the probiotic, and it also has 4 digestive enzymes which work in different areas through the gut, and it's also clinically proven to work all the way through the gut. Most of the products that you will buy in the shops don't work. Certainly the little dairy ones, the little shoot drinks you do, they're really just a sugary dairy drink. And the probiotic, there usually isn't enough in there to do a job that it should do. And also it can be killed by the temperature of your body and by the acids of your stomach. So going cheap on probiotics is just like throwing money down the drain. So I use a really, really good one, and it literally is the cornerstone of the beginning of my health getting back. And I got a lot of health benefits from just taking this probiotic. And this was way before I went vegan. So I know that I can attribute it to giving my gut a good clean every day so that my gut is as healthy as it can be. It's, your gut produces like 95% of your serotonin, which is the happy chemical that your body produces all by itself to make you feel that wonderful feeling that a lot of people will turn to alcohol or drugs or smoking or something, playing games on their phone to get that little drip, drip, drip of serotonin. You can make it yourself in abundance in your gut. So I think gut health is just, it's where your food is processed. It's where all your nutrients are absorbed. If you're eating stuff like, loads of kind of starchy processed, gluten-based, kind of cheesy type foods, your gut is just going to be like packed up with this kind of glue that's going to just stop all the nutrients that you are eating going into your system. There's a reason why there's an old wives' tale which says, drink a pint of milk before you go out on the lash, or you go out to have some big heavy drinking, with your mates when you're younger, because you don't get drunk as quickly and you can drink more. And the reason for that is because the dairy blocks your gut from absorbing so much of what's in your gut. Therefore, you don't absorb as much alcohol. So that's why it works. But imagine if you're eating really good quality foods and you're slushing it down with something like cheese. It means you're not even getting all the benefits from the good stuff that you're doing. So if you take a probiotic, it helps to combat all the things that stress the gut out, that make it not run as smoothly as it should. And that will be, pollution. It will be, working in an office in strip lights. It will be artificial fragrances that you might have in your home. And of course, all the processed food that we've eaten or alcohol that we've drunk, antibiotics or medications that we're on, all those things damage the natural balance of the healthy bacteria in your gut. So you can really do yourself a favor by taking a probiotic every single day to make sure that anything that is happening in your gut that isn't as good, you're giving your body the best chance. Your skin is made in your gut. You skin repair, your skin health goes up. My son takes it and his acne that was so bad, it looked like he had been in a house fire down the sides here, just like so red, just spot every pore, just a spot, and like red. You couldn't touch his face, it was so sore. It's gone. And all I've changed is I found a way to get him to enjoy the probiotics. So I am a great fan of probiotics. I think they're absolutely fantastic. And I'm just so thankful for mine. And I would never, ever not go a day without taking it. And nor would my son. So that is my kind of little soapbox on probiotics. I am a great, great fan of them. But I've got a few things here to read out. I've got some questions here. I think I just wanted to share some things because they've been building up. Snow says she's not 100% vegan at the moment, but the choices she's made due to me are changing how fast, she puts in capital letters. Her doctor actually hugged her today and said, "You're really serious this time." And she was so proud of her. So that is another success. That is another amazing thing to share. Christy is saying the last 20 years has been dictated by pain, real pain that diet won't cure. But I can say it's tremendously reduced many symptoms. And she's also getting your gut straight is everything. That's fantastic. See what people are saying? My library is getting me the 5-second rule. Brilliant, Snow. The 5-second rule is an excellent, excellent book on kind of getting your prefrontal cortex, the bit of your brain that actually is you when you go, I don't want to eat that cake because I'm doing that thing. And there's subliminal activities in your brain when you're just on autopilot and you just hang off the fridge door and you end up, sucking in half the contents without thinking. That kind of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, counting backwards, it interrupts your auto processes. It brings it right back to here and it allows you to go, hang on a minute. Oh, I'm fasting today. Shut the fridge door. So that's a great, great book. It's absolute game changer. It's an absolutely amazing book. I really highly recommend it. Sharon's talking about what she's cut out, grapes and stuff. Is oatmeal bad for you? Well, it's gluten-free. It's plant-based. I think oatmeal, like porridge oats, I think that's a great thing to eat. What do you think, Dr. Gilmore?
Oh, I think oats are fantastic. I have no problem with oats at all. I don't have the gluten restriction. I do not have and I know there's no gluten in oats, but I know a lot of people are concerned about things being gluten-free or associating that with being healthier, and that may be true. I haven't seen a lot of evidence, a lot of scientific evidence on that. It may be out there. If it is, I just haven't seen it. Only 1% of the population is truly gluten sensitive. So I know if you walk down the cereal aisle in your grocery store, you're going to see a lot of gluten-free options. That's sort of a hot thing right now. I think it's just a lot of over marketing personally. But oatmeal is a fantastic food. It is going to be a little bit more in the starchy area, so you want to limit as to how much you would eat. But having a true 1 cup of oatmeal, I don't mean a bowl full, I mean 1 cup of oatmeal with a little bit of maple syrup or just a teaspoon of honey and maybe some almond milk if you like a dash of that, or you want to use say an animal, a plant fat based margarine or oleo or whatever. I think is a fine option. Would I call that a whole food? Not with the imitation butter, but you don't have to put that on there. I kind of think as the almond milk is kind of a whole food, even though it's truly not, technically. But I kind of think of it like it is. Yeah. But I think oats are fantastic. I think they're probably one of our top, safer grains if you're trying to get away from grains that make you gain weight and that kind of thing. So yeah.
I think it's good. It's great. I make it with I chop a banana into it, so I don't add any sweetener at all. And in fact, that's what I have chosen to break my fast. That's what I have for breakfast in the morning, and it's slow release energy, so it does keep you going really nicely. And it's just nice to have something warm, and it's a comforty thing to eat.
Penny brought up something about oats here. I'm going to interrupt you. She said something about oats being in the news as having weed killer. You're going to find that a lot of the food products are going to have some trace of pesticides and that kind of stuff in it. You're going to have to overlook that. Either that or you're going to spend a lot of money on what you're eating, because in fact you are going to find these things, and it's an unfortunate part of what's how our food is being produced. So you're going to find that you're going to see research that shows that you have an increased risk of cancers and things like that from consuming vegetables that have been treated with pesticides and herbicides and these kind of things. And that is true, but we're only talking about an increase of a very, very tiny amount. We're talking about a 0.0001% increase, whereas we're reducing other risks of heart disease and diabetes and cancers from other causes by more than half in some cases. So what we're talking about is a very negligible change versus a very, very extremely visible positive change by consuming more of those products. If you've got the budget and you can eat, what's the word I'm looking for here? The pure organic or more natural, farm raised, things like that. And you want to do that, that's fine. And for my oats, and I do have oats, I always get one of the big brands of steel cut oats. Arrow Mills, I think is what it's called. They're organic. They're all over the place. They're easy to find. So we do that. We make these little breakfast items where we just put about a cup of the oats. We put a little bit of flaxseed in it. We put a little bit of almond milk and just a dash of maple syrup, and just put it in a Ball brand canning jarring.
Yeah.
Put the lid on it and just stick it in the fridge. You don't even have to mix it. You just put the stuff in there and just stick. You can make 6 of those at a time and eat one a day for breakfast for a week. They hold great. It's a super easy breakfast, and it'll give you energy, all day. So I mean, you can make that fast. So I'm a big lover of the steel cut oats, and definitely agree. But
yeah,
somebody asked about margarine. Is it supposed to be really bad? There's been a lot of head-to-head, testing done of different kinds of margarines versus butter. I will tell you that I know that butter is bad, and when I look at margarine, what I'm looking for is a very natural product, as natural as possible, coming from vegetable oils. And we talk about cooking with vegetable oils, everything from coconut oil to olive oil to different oils. So margarine is just another form of plant oil. Okay, so it is very highly processed. That's where it doesn't fit our model. Okay, but it's better than it's a trade-off. It's better than the animal product that we're replacing it with. And I like to put a little bit of spread on my toast. So for me, yes, it's not a whole food, but it is plant-based. So for me, it's a better choice than butter. But it'd be probably better if I just ate the toast dry, or put some almond butter, or put some natural preserves or something like that on it.
Have you tried coconut butter?
No, I haven't, but I need to, because I want to try a different one. And somebody asked earlier too for a replacement for coconut oil, and I'm wondering why you'd want to replace it. I think coconut oil is a fine kind of oil.
Amazing.
All oils should be eaten sparingly because they're very high caloric content. You should almost consider them, very low percentage, a very small. We're talking about very tiny amounts to cook with, or just for flavor or something like that. You're 80%, again, we'll talk about the rules, but 80% of what you eat should come from fruits and vegetables, 10% from mushrooms, and then 10% from starches. You could throw those oils in there with that 10% for starches. Oil should be a very, very small part of your diet. I would say margarine should be a very, very small part of your diet in general. I'm going to let you take over for just a second. Actually, we're at a 1 hour break point. Do you want to take a 1 hour break?
We're almost there. I just wanted to, because I actually need to take a potty break, as you call it, in a second. But I wanted to add to what you were saying about the fears of, the vegetables have maybe got some chemicals in them because of the farming and stuff. Just think for 1 second, what do you think all the processed ready meal foods, what do you think they're putting in those before you buy it on the shelf? They're also using those fruits and vegetables. And guess what? They're not buying the best quality either, because they're trying to make profit. So they're putting all the things that aren't so good in their food, as the whole food. So, everybody's getting their fruits and veg from pretty much the same source. So just kind of have a little think about that. Before we head off, because I know it takes a while for some people to get back on, Lindsay was talking about she's trying to do the changes. It's easy to do whilst I'm changing things around my mental health, and I would never have had the confidence to do this a couple of years ago. So that is fantastic, because a lot of this is mindset, and I'm going to talk a little bit about mindset and confidence and give you some pointers that might help you there, because it is daunting when you make some big changes, and you do kind of beat yourself up in your head. And that's very common, and it's very, very... It's funny, I'm talking to the comments rather than to the camera. Sorry, folks.
Listen to me over here. You comment.
It's very, very, it's very, very common. So, just bear with yourself on this. And this is what we've got this group for, because we do have moments where we don't think we can do it, or we don't think we've got the confidence. And, I've got someone that's been private messaging me who's, just can't deal with battling against her family, thinking it's a fad. And, and that's okay. Moving in the right direction is absolutely fantastic. And someone is actually, I've just read this comment. She doesn't tell her family what she's doing. She just gets on and does it. And when your family see the results, they will get behind you. Chrissy's swearing by probiotics. Oatmeal, good or bad? We've covered that. It's great. When you get to an age like 40 or 50 or 60, there's a whole kind of mind crunch that goes on in your own head that you're not where you thought you might be at that age. And it's a very good way of sharpening your focus and making a change. Let me just think if there's anything else. No problem with gluten, bananas. Bananas are great. Right, okay. I think I've got, there's a lot of chit chat behind. Oh, apparently we have a troll. Well, he's just going to get knocked off. Or I always assume they're blokes. I don't know why. That's sexist of me. This is a good one. We'll tackle this one when we come back on. I'm fully aware that I'm not perfect, but I'm trying hard to improve myself. Plus, I want babies. At my BMI, it would be pretty dangerous to be pregnant. Right, Lindsay, we will kick off after our break with that. Would that be a good idea?
I think so.
That's a slightly different thing there that we haven't touched on that before. So if you could, when you hop back on, say you're on and stick your BMI up, and we will talk about that one. Okay, my lovelies, my 21 lovelies that are on at the moment, we are going to break for 5 minutes and then we'll be back on. So if you leave my channel open and keep refreshing it, you'll see when I go live, you need to click on the video and you'll jump back in. And do say hello when you're in so that I know you're in there.
Also, it's I've got straight up 7 o'clock my time, so it'll be 7:05 or
yeah, I've got straight up 1 o'clock in the morning is about to click over. All right, darlings, I will see you in 5 minutes. Lots of love. Thanks for joining the first half. See you in a minute.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.